This video contains some heavy spoilers when it contains information about World Tour, so if you don't play World Tour or anything you don't want to know about, feel free to click off this video. Other than that, let's enjoy the video.
You think this is funny?
In a cosmic sort of way, yes.
Well, Mr. Funny Man, is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rich T here, and today's video I'm going to be analysing Season 4 for Street Fighter 6. Now, if you've not seen or heard any of the news, Street Fighter 6 announced the Season 4 characters or the character roster on Friday last week at the Summer Game Fest. There was the second last thing that they showed before they showed other games that they were cooking, which is pretty cool. And when I saw the trailer with G Blanco 2002, a good friend of mine, we got a bit upset, a little bit, because the elephant in the room, which I would say afterwards on the characters. But at the end of the day, it happens, and if it's the way how they want to make money, then that's fine by them. So let's get into the characters. So starting off, we have the elephant in the room, Tifa. Now, if you don't know who Tifa is, and I didn't know much about Tifa, Tifa is a fan favorite character from the Final Fantasy series. Now, Tifa in Street Fighter 6 is interesting, not going to lie. But for me, it's going to be interesting to the point on a 3D character is being added into a 2D game. Now, from what I've gathered, Tifa was supposedly requested heavily in Tekken 8 Season 1, and I believe they voted to have her in Season 1 of Tekken 8. However, they instead got Clive instead, who's also another Resident Evil, a Final Fantasy character, forgive me on that. I think her playstyle, from what I've seen from clips, and the way how she plays, I think it'll fit more in Tekken, since Final Fantasy and Tekken are in a way 3D games. But with Street Fighter 6 and all the other Street Fighters, it's 2D. So it's going to be one, interesting, two, it'll be kind of like hoping that she doesn't turn into another Mai, as in she becomes top one like Mai is at the moment from the time I'm recording this. We just don't know completely because it's just been announced, so we just have to wait and see how it all works out, pretty much. The other thing I also like to mention as well is the two new characters or two new faces added into the Street Fighter 6 character-wise. Now, I'll go through the other characters before, but I'm going to talk about Yasmin first. So far, from what I've seen, is Yasmin, in my opinion, I quite like Yasmin's look. I think Yasmin overall is a pretty cool design for a character because, for one, she's Filipino, which is the first Filipino character we've got. Second, is she going to be like the same type of like playstyle on how she's like Cody or Vega? Since in this image I'm showing with my mouse cursor, she's using a weapon. Looks like from what it looks like a bird. I don't know fully, but we'll see on how she'll play like that. And also, we've got a new fighting style, which is a Filipino fighting style. I don't know fully the name. If you just give me 1 second. So the fighting style, from what I've gathered, is a umbrella of Arnis, Eskrima, and Kali. I hope I pronounced those three words correctly. If not, so feel free, if you understand what they are or if you know what their fighting style is, feel free to let me know in the comments. So we'll just have to wait and see fully on how she performs overall when it comes to how she plays. If she's going to be like a bit of passive or she's going to be a bit rushed down, we just have to wait and see overall. Now, I think now talking as well is this character Arjun. Now, Arjun looks interesting, not interesting as in like what's it called? Like how Yasmin and Tifa are added in. No. From what I think from Arjun's or how you say his name, his design could be something if he's like that size, if you see some of his pictures or the little trailer he was announced, he could be like a command grab type of character, like how Geef is. That would make no sense because in the trailer you can see him breathe with air, and that could link to something to his fighting style. And if that's the case, um, it would just be quite silly because I don't know fully on how it's gonna be. Is he gonna breathe air as like how Dalton does with his yoga fire, but instead of fire, it's air? So pretty much we got the Avatar whole thing in this area in the whole season, but it's just confusing to me. That's how I think it is. I'm not too sure about that one. But another thing about the season 4 roster is this character. Now, if you've not seen the start of my video, so this contains some spoilers, this character supposedly died. Now, I'll put a clip on that containing on how he died. So that clip that you saw there was the death of Bosch for some reason, and don't worry, the channel that you saw in the clip, I'll put a link in the description below so you can go and check out their channel on the any other videos they make. But yeah, going back to Bosch, as you can see, he dies by JP setting a bomb in the champion belt, which is what JP would normally do. If you play JP, you're an idiot and I hate you because you pee me off. I'm joking, blah 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 that. But in the clip, Botch dies, and that's it. You never hear from him again until now. Now, this is going to be something interesting that I would not understand because if Botch dies and he comes back to life for season 4, how is it like what's the like lore behind it? Because all I know is that Ingrid's going to be the one doing all of that. I'm like, yeah, but that won't make any sense. You don't just be like, I'm Ingrid. I go through all other dimensions, but I will make this character that is kind of a not gonna lie, a very bad character. Voice actor did a good job, but the writing for Capcom was not good for him. Not gonna lie. Now, I've played World Tour on my Xbox. First time was pretty interesting, but the story was pretty shit. Now, I think when it comes to him being a playable fighter in season 4, I don't know how it will work. It will just be completely confusing on how it all works. I just hope that if they like have him to what's it called? Have him like somewhat different to how he was before Street Fighter Six story. Like for example, how he like what's his style before joining Luke's Buckler's camp thing. That's what I'm thinking. But believe he shouldn't be a playable character after that. There were other characters that could have been 1,000 times better to choose, but it's Capcom at the end of the day, and they added in Botch. So overall, this season is meh to me. To others, they might say, "Oh, I like this. It's actually pretty interesting." Mm, I'm 50-50 on the characters. I'm 25% on Yasmin on how they do it, 25% on Tifa, but the rest is just these two characters are not going to be to my liking. That's just pretty much how I'm going to show it. I know how I say it. But that wraps up today's video. I appreciate you all for watching. if you have any thoughts or anything you like to talk about season 4, feel free to let me know in the comments, as I said about Yasmin's fine style or how you want to pronounce it. Check out the YouTuber that I showed in the clip of Botched Iron. It's just the way I could find something. So, other than that, I wish you all the best. I will see you all later. Peace.